What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, an interesting video for you here on the channel. Today is my Crown Jewel card predictions. Finally, near Crown Jewel. This is honestly one of the better cards, in my opinion. We are at a PLE with 7, and I said yes, 7 matches, not 5 like there normally has been. I mean, it's crazy to say that we're at 7 for a PLE here, but it is indeed 7, and it makes me wonder how these matches are going to turn out. How fast are these matches going to be? I have a lot of questions, and I bet you do too. But today is my Crown Jewel card predictions, and I feel like let's just kind of get started. Let's just get right into it. We're gonna go with just matches overall. I usually do confidence level, but we're just going to go into the matches and talk about it because I'm going to be honest, I don't feel confident about a lot of these matches. First, we're going to go with the Women's Fatal 4 tag match. If there was one match I could say I'm confident in, it is this one. This match is going to be probably one of the highlights of the whole night. I mean, when you look at what, you know, you're getting Lash Legend in there, Miss Jackson in there to really show off for NXT. You got Chelsea Green and Piper, who's been on SmackDown a lot. You have EO and Damage Control, who's been on Raw. This is one that's I love. I think you're showing aspects of the women's division on all shows. And I think also with Jade Cargill and Bianca, it's a big enough draw that it's valid for a match here. I wonder what could happen here because I think there's a lot of possibilities. The team that I think could actually win these tag titles is Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. But I don't know. I go back and forth. Piper is another one that I don't know. Also Damage Control, but I don't think right now with what could happen with Damage Control story-wise, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to pass on Damage Control. Even though it's a Fatal 4-Way and this is the easiest way to get Bianca and Jade to lose the tag titles, I'm going to go Jade and Bianca still. I think that the main goal is for them to have these tag titles, and the way they lose it is when Jade starts turning more heelish. Maybe there's going to be some miscommunication here, and Jade's going to start showing a different side. I don't know what could be the start of it, but Jade is going to show a little bit of a heelish tone here soon, so we can start entering their feud for WrestleMania. I wonder just how it starts, but I don't expect it to start here for Crown Jewel. Up next, we have LA Knight versus Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. Another one that I feel very confident about. I knew LA Knight was going to be on this card the minute they started showing the referee, or even just Saudi in general. Saudi loves LA Knight. I think we all saw that back in the day with Roman Reigns. LA Knight is... This is one of the matches that I'm actually the most excited for. Even though I know LA Knight's going to have the championship, I know Andrade and Carmelo probably don't win it. I do expect LA Knight to really be the one to just take it away. You could also say that maybe the Game 7 needs to happen, so maybe there is some like leftoverness from this. I don't know. I really want to go back and forth, but of course I think LA Knight is going to be the winner. I wonder if LA Knight gets cost the win from maybe... I don't think it's going to be AJ Styles. I don't think AJ Styles comes back. Could be Logan. You could have maybe someone else in the mix like Santos, but I don't think any like that. There's a lot of possibilities that could happen, but I do expect that LA Knight... And also it being a triple threat is very interesting because, again, no rules. We could see some madness. with this one. Up next, we have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Hoping there was a stipulation on this one. Wasn't. I have to say that the build for this has maybe been really fast, but I expect that there's still going to be I expected that there was going to be a little bit more than the Randy and Triple H promo. But I do want to talk about and say that I am 50-50 on who wins. I think for a Crown Jewel crowd, they would probably want Randy Orton to win. For a Kevin Owens that they need to build to maybe go against Cody Rhodes, I feel like Kevin Owens has to win, and that's who I'm going to go with. I also want to say I think Kevin Owens needs to win this so we can get Randy just continue to losing. I want Randy to just continue losing so he snaps and realizes that he has to be his darker ego to beat a Kevin Owens, to beat anybody, and to actually get the championship off of Cody Rhodes. I think that's where we're going to, and I think that this is the start of it as well. I think Randy Orton is going to be somebody that is going to go to that dark place of his, and this is going to be a start when Kevin Owens is actually the winner for this type of match. Up next, we have Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. Another match that you're in the star of Seth Rollins, so Seth Rollins obviously looks like he should win this. But, I wonder, so I'm recording this right after Raw. With this Raw kind of giving us a little question mark on Seth Rollins, a little questionable, a little day-to-day for Seth Rollins. I wonder if that plays a big factor, and that's what causes Bronson Reed to win. Because I don't expect Bronson Reed to win. I think this is a match that maybe there is like some, matches that happen again. But I think Bronson Reed is going to come out victorious. I think if you want to make Bronson Reed one of the next upcoming stars, this is it. You let him get a win on Seth Rollins in a incredible fashion. You let him go crazy with a tsunami. You let him keep going with tsunamis. You let him injure Seth Rollins, and maybe Seth Rollins is out till, Netflix when it comes in Raw. I'm just saying, if you want to pull out some bangers on bangers on bangers, I think you let Bronson Reed win this, and you let him really hit that main event scene or that true top of the mid card where he could probably dethrone somebody for a title. That's where I'm at, and that's what I'm expecting to happen. Up next, we have Gunther versus Cody Rhodes. So now we're getting into the championships. I have a lot of question marks. If you have seen my video on this championship, you know I do not like this championship because my whole thing that I think WWE needs to look at is prestige. How do you make both these titles look as well as they can? And of letting one of your titles who's holding it pin the other superstar, it takes away that you're going to look at one title better than the other. It's just a full-on exhibition match, and then they get to hold a championship for the whole year. This is literally just like a Royal Rumble win, in my opinion. It's just with a belt. So with this being instead, what happens? Well, with rumors of Goldberg being one to cost Gunther, I don't think that actually happens. I don't believe in those rumors at all. With rumors of the Bloodline and The Rock coming to maybe cost Cody Rhodes, I can understand that a little bit more. I don't think that happens. I think someone gets... This cannot be just a regular pin. No matter what, it cannot be a regular pin. These are your two top faces, and they cannot just have a regular pin. I am going to say, and only because I think they need to build this championship since it's so new and make it look so good, that Gunther is the winner. But if that's the case, how do we get there? Maybe it is Bloodline. Maybe it is The Rock. I also believe it could be Kevin Owens. I don't think it's Randy Orton. I think it could be just anybody that is going to challenge Cody Rhodes next. That's what happens. So maybe then Gunther gets really pissed off and something happens. I don't know. But I'm going to expect that this is the one that this is what happens, and that Gunther versus Cody ends in Gunther winning to really build this championship. Up next, the next one, Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. You could convince me each of them winning. Same with Cody and Gunther. Nia Jax and Liv Morgan is interesting because of how many people like Rhea could cost Liv, and I think Tiffany could cost Nia. I'm going to say that one of those happen. One of those is going to be bigger than the other. And with my thought of a Liv Morgan and Rhea potential War Games coming up, and they're not going to challenge for the title, I expect that Rhea doesn't mess with Liv here, and it's going to be just continuous on Raw. And with Nia not having anything with War Games, she should have a match, which I think will be with Charlotte Flair for Survivor Series, where we ultimately see a Tiffany Stratton cash in. And the reason why I think that is because I think Tiffany Stratton is going to cost Nia Jax this match and Liv Morgan's going to win. I think the plan is going to be Nia Jax is going to destroy Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is going to be hurt, look like she could get pinned. Tiffany Stratton's going to fake a cash in. She's going to not do anything. And then all of a sudden, Nia Jax loses this match because of it, which Nia Jax is going to snap on Tiffany Stratton. Going to really hurt her. Tiffany Stratton is then going to later on cash in at Survivor Series. I'm calling it now. A thought out plan. And I would be kind of shocked if it doesn't happen. I think that's where we're getting to. She's not cashing in here. There's just so many question marks. They're not going to do it. This is what's happening. This is what's going to go on. This is what's going to be the ultimate outcome. And I believe that Liv Morgan's going to be the winner because they have to build Liv Morgan as a champion. There hasn't been that much compared to Nia Jax. Up next, we have the rumored match that became true. And luckily today, they announced this right after Raw, which is crazy enough to say. It is OG Bloodline versus New Bloodline. And two things. One, obviously it was going to be a spoiler for SmackDown that we heard that this was going to be announced. It was the only kind of spoiler that got leaked, but of course everyone's going to post that and say, oh my god, big spoilers for Crown Jewel, big spoilers for Crown Jewel. Then they released it after Raw. I thought they would actually announce it on Raw, but they didn't. So this is an interesting match because my initial thoughts for this is why? Because if you're doing Bloodline on Bloodline for War Games, maybe this is the setup for it, and there's this bigger thing. Even though Jimmy J and Roman is like the god tier bloodline, I truthfully believe that there is no way they can let this OG bloodline win. I mean, come on. My only thing is that if they win, that maybe they win and then The Rock comes out. And again, if this main event's probably Rock or something crazy is going to happen. That's my only thought on this, is that that's what happens, and that's what makes this a crazy, OG Bloodline wins, and then that happens. But at the same time, this is what I believe is going to happen. I think we're going to see the OG Bloodline versus New Bloodline happen. Tonga Loa is going to get involved. Maybe Sami Zayn gets involved because I thought they would, because it's in Saudi and Saudi loves Sammy, but didn't happen. Maybe it's someone stops Tonga Loa for them, and then we get Hikuleo or someone else debut, so then they can have that fifth member for a War Games. I think that makes a lot more sense than maybe The Rock joining them for War Games. And then we have to get Sami Zayn involved, because now Roman and everyone realizes we need our OG family back, which is get Sami Zayn involved. And then they're going to add Cody Rhodes involved, and then Randy's going to snap at Cody Rhodes because of it. That's my prediction. That's what I think is going to happen. But at the same time, do they debut? I mean, it would make sense for a Crown Jewel for Hikuleo to come out, because didn't Solo come out for a Crown Jewel back in the day, if I'm not mistaken? Or was that... No, that was Clash of the Castle. Clash of the Castle 2022. Who came out in Crown Jewel that one time? I forget. I think it was Sammy. Maybe not. I don't know, but I'd be interested to see what's going to happen with this. Ultimately, I am going to go New Bloodline. I think that's what makes the most sense. I think that's what's going to happen. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.